All right, welcome back to Chapter 5, Section 3, entitled Adding and Subtracting Fractions with Like Denominators. So, the first vocabulary, fractions with the same denominators are called like fractions. That means 2/3, 1/3, 5/3 are called like denominators, like fractions. You need like fractions in order to add or subtract the fractions. So, to add fractions with the same denominator, add the numerators, and then use the denominator in the sum. For subtracting, you subtract fractions with the same denominators. You subtract the numerator and use the same denominator in the difference. This part right here is the key. All right? If you have like fractions, you just have to set it up in this way. So looking at this, here are like fractions. Denominator equals 10. So when you add these together, all right, and just like all of these fraction operations we've done in the past, you should estimate like 9/10. We just got done rounding to the nearest whole, so 9/10 is approximately 1. It's almost 10 over 10. Now, you don't actually have to do this part, but it's a good way to make sure you did it correctly. You know that 3 out of 10 is closer to 5 out of 10, so it's basically 1/2. So you're basically, your answer should be, well, you know what? I'm actually going to, did talk about finding nearest quarter. This would actually be about 1/4. It's very close to 1/4. So this would be about 1/4, which means my answer would be 1 and 1/4. Or, let's see, as an improper fraction would be 4 times 1 plus 1. That would be 5/4. All right, now let's work on this. 3/10 plus 9/10, you follow the adding steps, so that should be 11/10 because you add the numerators. Simplify if you, oh, I'm sorry, not 11/10. I don't know what I'm doing today. 12/10, so it's the number 12. 3 plus 9 is 12. So when I simplify, you would simplify reduced by 2. That would be 6/5. And 6/5 is the same as 1 and 1/5. All right? And if you look at our answer, 1 and 1/5, 1 and 1/4, that estimation is pretty darn good. Let's do another. This is subtraction. So if we needed to estimate, you're basically saying that an estimation would be 10/12 is approximately 1. 1/12 is basically 0. So our answer should be close to 1. But since we're actually going to do the division, 10 minus 1 is 9. You can simplify both of these by 3. So 9/12 reduces to 3/4, which is decently close to 1. All right, so checking your progress. All right, go ahead and estimate if you want to. But since the denominators are the same, you simply add the fractions. 3 plus 7, and you divide by the denominator. So 3 plus 7 is 10 over 8. 10 over 8 reduces by a factor of 2, which gives us 5/4, which is 1 1/4. Subtraction now. These are the same numbers. So 17 minus 5 divided by the denominator, that ends up being 12/18, which reduces to, let's see, they can both be divided by factors of 3. Let's see, what would that give us? That would give us 4/6, which can be divided by a factor of 2, which ends up giving us a total answer of 2/3. So this checking your progress, I would leave it as 5/4. This one is 2/3. All right, now we've done a few examples here. Now we are going to go ahead and look at the fact that how much farther did they go? Well, we want to find how much farther. That means difference. That means subtraction. And so we're going to take the larger one, put it in front, and the bigger one, or the smaller one, second. Since the denominators are the same, you simply have to subtract the numerators. Well, when we do this subtraction, 21 minus 6 is 15/25, which simplifies by a factor of 5 and becomes 3/5. So Darcy swam 3/5 of a mile more than Renee. 3/5 you could convert to 0.6. So 0.6 miles is how much more Darcy swam than Renee. All right, another check your progress. It's again, one pattern for a skirt requires this much. Second pattern requires this much. How much more fabric was required? How much more? All right, that's dealing with a difference again. If it said how much in total, if it said total, it'd be the sum. We're dealing with a difference. So always, when you're finding the difference, set the bigger number up first. That way you don't use negatives. Let me put this here. And the reason you do this is you end up with no negatives numbers. So the difference, same denominator, just do the subtraction. That becomes 4/16. Both of those numbers can be divided by 4, which gives us 1/4. So I would recommend looking back over the video if you're having trouble with some of this. Along with your notes, please do not forget that your homework assignment are the CYUs, which are found on page 258, and you're going to do 1 through 7. And again, watch the video if you are having a little trouble with some of these. In class, we will work on this. All right, good luck.